Joining us here in the studio exclusively are Luke Gelinas, whose two sons are students at South Hadley, and bullying expert Barbara Coloroso, who's spoken to parents and administrators at the school. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for taking the time. Let's start with you, Luke. I know that Phoebe was in your son's French class. What was his reaction to her death?
He was deeply saddened and deeply hurt.
And to the arrest of these 9 classmates?
I think we're all relieved and saddened at the same time. Relieved, of course, for Phoebe's family, and relieved that this didn't get swept under the rug like a lot had anticipated. And also saddened for the family, saddened for our loss of Phoebe, and saddened also for the parents of the children whose names have been published with the charges next to them. This has not been easy on us as a community, and I'm sure it's not easy on those parents this morning. And my heart goes out to them as well.
I know that you, in large part, blame school officials here because your son had been bullied at the same school. You say a lot of other students had as well, so much so that you spoke out and called for the resignation of the principal and the superintendent. Why do you blame them, and what was their reaction?
Well, from the start, they said that it's been a constant message of blame the victim and shoot the messenger. We've tried to bring accountability. That's been our message right from the beginning. The girls involved in this, sure, they were wrong, but they were kids. These are grown men that are paid to do a job. This is a very prevalent problem. We've had it in our community for some time now. It was recognized 3 years ago. It took 2 years for them to actually take action, and they brought Mrs. Coloroso to our town, worked with her. She left them a plan, and they largely did nothing about it. And 3.5 months went by, and then we lost Phoebe. And then Barbara came back, and she tried to assist us in our efforts, and they pretty much rejected her.
So, Barbara, when they called you in, they were being proactive when they heard there was a problem. They called you in months before Phoebe's death, had you talked to them. Did you get the impression like this is something that they were taking seriously?
Yes, and I believe for the most part they were. There had been a death of an 11-year-old in a community not far from there, and they wanted to get on top of it. And I spoke with the educators and parents in the community about how important it was to have those 3 Ps: strong anti-bullying policy, procedures in place that protected targets and held bullies accountable, and programs in place that would say no more, not here, never to mean and cruel, and teaching young people how to stand up and speak out. But we have to model that for our kids.
Right. And did they implement that, though?
I think some of the schools actually did, but my concern when I went back and talked to the kids and then talked in the community meeting was, again, going back to those 3 Ps, how important it is that we don't write bullying off as boys will be boys, girls just want to be mean, it's part of growing up, that it's not like a conflict, it's about utter contempt for another human being. And it's so important that we stop that in its tracks. And
Do
we
you
as
mean
adults,
school officials or parents or both?
3 groups: the kids themselves, because bullying happens under the radar of adults often; the parents, because you have to be taught to put somebody outside your circle of caring and make them an it, so you can do anything to them and not feel any shame or compassion; and school officials. We have, as educators, I'm an educator, a legal obligation to keep our schools safe for everyone. I want young people to know, and there were some teachers that acted very quickly, no more, not here, never in this school, that this is safe harbor for every child. You don't have to like every kid, but you must honor their humanity. And we are going to take a strong stance. And I think they had policies, but the procedures need to be toughened up. And this is a wake-up call, and I think it will happen.
Well, let's hope so. Barbara Coloroso and Luke Gelinas, thank you.
Thank you.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.